Okay, I'm George LaRocque. Welcome back to WorkTech. We had some exciting industry news last week when Bullhorn announced the acquisition of Textkernel. And since the announcement hit the wire, I've seen a lot of chatter about what it means for the market. And today we're joined by Art Pappas, the CEO of Bullhorn, and Gerard Mulder, the CEO of Textkernel, to give us some real direct perspective on what this means and where it's headed. So welcome.
Thanks, George.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me, and Art, of course.
Well, before we dig in on the deal, I can't imagine anybody in our space isn't familiar with either of you or Bullhorn or Textkernel, but just for those who might not be, can we get a quick intro from each of you? Maybe Art, if you want to lead off.
Yeah, sure. I'm Art Pappas, founder, CEO of Bullhorn. Bullhorn, for those of you who don't know the company, started 25 years ago. We are the leader in software for the staffing and recruitment industry, and have about 10,000 customers all over the world, and very excited about Textkernel. This is a really exciting acquisition. We'll get into the whys, but we're super excited about it.
Great. Gerard?
Yeah, so I'm Gerard. I've been with Textkernel for 19 years now. Joined the company when it was 4 or 5 people and started participating in it. So Textkernel is all about AI and helping the wider HR tech and staffing industry understand, connect, and analyze the data that they work with, people and jobs. High level, that's what we do.
Yeah. It's an exciting deal for many reasons, but I think folks are always fascinated by the backstory. So I'll ask each of you to give a little bit of sort of backstory on this deal. So Art, what was happening at either in the market or at Bullhorn that led you to Textkernel, and why did this deal make sense?
Yeah, we've known each other a long time, and I think that for us, when we sit with our clients and we talk about like what's important to you, search and match always came up, and parsing is something that comes up, but not directly. And a lot of problems with search and match are actually parsing problems, right? And so clients will say, well, we can't search the database. It's not like, it's really hard to search. And there's a lot of reasons for that. But one of the reasons is like on the way in, you have to tag data properly. And one of the things that started to happen was, and for years there were multiple vendors doing search and match. And, George, you remember back in like way back, they're just like, there's always been a lot of like, I'd say uncertainty about who is the best search for candidate search, and who does the best parsing. And back, you used to work for HireDesk, Resume Mirror way back in the day, right? And so so this market really well back in Genium, and I've been watching it for 25 years, and Bullhorn has our own search. We always got parsing from third-party partners. But for us, it was very clear the last 5 years, Textkernel pulled way out in front, like huge margin of growth and customer adoption and customer success. And we saw firsthand because we were partnered, and our Bullhorn for Salesforce product didn't have a search natively. We just used Textkernel, and it was a great partnership. And we said, okay, this is like a really good opportunity for us. And then AI hit a couple of years ago, and it turns out like parsing will be even more important because of what you can do with AI. And we saw what Textkernel was doing, and we said this is the why now. They pulled way out in front, and then AI is just going to propel this thing to the moon. And so this was the right time. So we were super excited about it.
That's great. And Gerard, there's some history to Textkernel. Textkernel had been acquired by Careerbuilder and then spun back out at some point.
Yeah.
But you've been at the helm, as you mentioned, the whole time. So I know there are a lot of questions about that trajectory. Can you maybe give us a little background story yourself and how that led to Bullhorn?
Yeah, I mean, so when we got acquired by Careerbuilder, we were actually, well, we were a lot smaller than we are today. Actually, roughly 10 times smaller, and we were actually looking for investment capital to really start going into the US markets. So while we were doing that, and actually one of our biggest customers, I think it's the largest staffing firm, wanted to actually invest in Textkernel, but at the same time, we got this offer from Careerbuilder, which seemed really good. Well, was really good. And Careerbuilder also had a strategy at the time that we really liked. So we decided to join forces with Careerbuilder. Now, as you all know, I think the market in talent acquisition, job boards changed a bit over that period in time, and so basically Careerbuilder asked me to help them sell off some of their assets on the and Textkernel was one of them. So we joined Main Capital. Main Capital is a Dutch private equity investor, and with Main Capital we started on a buy and build strategy and acquired 4 companies over the past 3 years. And like what Main does, at some point, they buy and they sell companies. So normally this wouldn't have happened so quick, because it was only 3.5 years ago when they acquired us. But we had a lot of incoming interest from the market. And so we decided, why wait if there's so much interest? And let's do only reach out to a few logical potential buyers and start a bidding auction process, basically. So I'm really happy that Bullhorn came out as a winner because, as Art knows, I've always thought that would have been a good idea to join forces.
Yeah. That's some great background, and as you were both talking, I can't help but think there's some alignment here at this level where, I mean, Art, you're a anomaly, having been a founder, been through a couple of PE firms. You're still at the helm of Bullhorn. I know you talk about you make some real strategic moves, but you talk about sort of execution on strategy and growth and profitability. And then Gerard, for you, I know you weren't the founder, but being there very early on and being at the helm through all of these transitions, that usually it's not the same person who goes through those transitions.
I was joking the other day. I'm like, I sold this company 3 times now, and I'm still here. It's like I don't know.
George, it's a great point. I think that there are leaders who can make the transition to the private equity world or to corporate ownership and being acquired by a strategic. And this team has proven they can do that. And so I think for us, that de-risks, the integration. And we're not looking at this and saying, oh man, these people can't operate in an environment with a little more structure. Bullhorn isn't, we aren't like a Fortune 500, but there are thousands of employees all over the world, and it's different than running a startup. But I know that this team really gets that, and it knows how to be successful and drive growth in that kind of environment. And so that, I think that de-risks it for us, and it's exciting. So so I'm excited. Did I say I'm excited?
Yeah, I think at least once.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the importance of parsing and really of data for AI. And can you talk a little bit about what Bullhorn customers should be most excited about? What related to your AI strategy or your overall product strategy?
Yeah. Before we knew this was going to be a reality, and this happened pretty quickly. We've been partnered forever, but the deal came together. Was it like 6 weeks, something
Oh,
like
wow.
that?
Really quick.
Very quick. I gave my keynote at Engage in Boston, and I talked about what you need to be successful if you want to leverage AI in any industry. And I talked about that you need a sea of data, specific data set that's actionable and that's enormous and actionable. And the enormous part is something that Bullhorn has. We have 10,000 customers and we see hundreds of millions of resumes and job orders every year. But then Textkernel comes along, and I say to the team, if we really believe that more data is going to be critical to training our models, and we've had some enormous success. Like, we have customers who a third of their placements are being generated through our auto match. That's an AI model.
Wow.
And we're still not done training that model. And it's like, okay, here's Textkernel. They service some of the largest employers in the world, both on the staffing side and the enterprise corporate talent acquisition side. And we said, more data and different data that's actionable. We know the outcomes, right? And that's why the staffing side of this equation is so important, because if you have the end to end, you can see who's hired, who's successful in the role. And that's a very unique position. And so to have all that data and then to be able to train the models, and then you take the amazing parsing and the specific data that Textkernel can extract, it's pretty compelling. And we're early. It's in a 5-year journey around what AI, maybe a 10-year journey, what AI can do in recruitment, but already the results are super powerful. And so this was sort of a no-brainer for us. Like, let's go after it. And Gerard, you want to maybe talk about like some of the stuff you guys were already doing with AI too?
Yes. So I really liked that keynote, by the way, even though I wasn't there live. I did watch it back, and if you look at why our customers work with Textkernel today, it's very much for that purpose. We can make their data actionable. So before you even go think about AI and the enormous amount of data, through our taxonomies, our ability to classify data, and also our skills intelligence products that we have, which is really about the relationship between jobs and skills and skills and skills. We can basically help our customers make that data usable in huge data lakes, and then further develop their AI on top of. And yeah, I mean, with Bullhorn, I'm really excited about this because Bullhorn has so much data, and we've always wanted to get closer to Bullhorn to do this. But I can also imagine that's sort of scary if you're the size of Bullhorn to be dependent on a supplier to do these things with. So to me, it makes a lot of sense, and I'm really excited about doing that. Apart from that, of course, like, our customers choose us because we really do have the best matching engine today in the industry. We come out on top every time we're tested against our competition or home-built own systems of our customers. But next to that, during this buy and build strategy, what we've been doing is we've been acquiring a candidate engagement solution. So to actually bring a more conversational AI to the mix. So, right, because what we were always doing is saying, hey, we can give you the best matches, but now how do you make that data actionable? How do you actually convert a good match into an applicant? Or how do you start doing automated conversations with candidates about what skills they may have learned so that you can enrich your data? And that's a speech way. Sorry, Art, I'm giving you too many compliments, but that's actually a speech that Art gave, like, I think 6-7 years ago on Engage, which I really liked, which was about helping or having the staffing industry help people advance their careers. And how do you actually translate that into a business case for the staffing industry itself, right? So those are things that we can really help with. And actually, our customers are starting to use our tools and data and intelligence to start thinking about really like, what's the value of a particular skill? Now, what happens when you teach people a skill, for instance? So anyway, I'm going a little bit maybe too quick. Let's do the basics first, right? But I'm super excited about that. So we bought Candidate Engagement, which helps us communicate with candidates. So and I think that can also add a lot of value to it's already integrated actually in the Bullhorn ATS. And we acquired a mid-office solution, which we currently supply in Europe, which is also a great addition for Bullhorn. And one of the reasons for me to wanting to do that was actually basically the idea that candidates and employers or the customers of staffing agencies live the most in this mid-office solution. So being able to reach the candidates and the employer there with AI tools and improvements, it is also, a really great benefit.
And all that middle office data is really helpful around, okay, this was a match. And the model said it was a match. Did the person actually show up for work, and were they successful, or did the assignment end quickly? And that's feedback data that's critical to the AI picture. So
on both, to your point, on both sides, to the customer and the staffing firm, that's a critical consideration in any transaction. But so you hit on customers, and this all sounds really exciting from an AI perspective, but I mentioned all the buzz in the market, and some of the buzz is about that opportunity that you're both talking about. Some of the buzz, without any input from you, by the way, is more questioning the future of Textkernel's corporate talent acquisition customers. And maybe, Gerard, if you want to talk about it, and Art, you probably have something to say about that. What does the future look like for Textkernel's customers, I guess, on both sides?
Yeah, if I'll start. Well, first of all, we all want to continue to deliver all that technology to that corporate HR tech market. And the great thing is, whatever we develop with Bullhorn going forward, and probably even much better than we do today as Textkernel alone, in essence is the same technology that the corporate HR tech market uses, right? So they benefit from all of these investments Bullhorn is making. Now, I've spoken myself to some of the largest vendors in this space, and they respond super positive to this. So it's actually Cornerstone and SAP, and they were really happy Bullhorn bought us. So they actually see this as a great outcome for them, because Bullhorn's not competing with those suppliers in the market, right? And at some point actually do work with them. So there are connections between those systems and Bullhorn systems, and customers using both systems. So also there, I think there are opportunities as well. In my opinion, so I think it works out perfectly, actually.
Okay,
I can see the criticism, George. Right, like if I were a Textkernel competitor, I might say, oh well, Bullhorn's got 10,000 customers that are staffing and recruitment agencies, and they don't care about you if you're an employer that isn't a staffing firm, or you're an OEM partner software company. And what I would say to that is, we've always been building software for the most demanding recruitment professionals, and that's always been a passion of ours. We actually have Fortune 500 clients that use the Bullhorn ATS. That's not a big focus for us, but we've had clients who come to us and say, like, your tools for recruitment specifically are among the best in the world. So we look at this and we say, this is an opportunity. We're powering the most important thing inside of the whole recruitment process, which is searching and matching against the database. And for the businesses that want to leverage this technology, we're absolutely leaning in, and we're going to say, okay, we're going to service those customers. We're going to make sure they're happy and successful because of what I said earlier around that sea of data. Once we do that and we create that feedback loop, it enhances the entire experience for all of our customers. And so, you know, and it's not like Bullhorn's a startup and we can't service that, you know, an additional customer base. We do that all the time when we go into new or what have you. So for us, it's an exciting expansion of the market, and it's going to be a big growth lever for the company going forward. So so I would say to those customers, we're here, and you'll see by our actions how we take care of customers.
Yeah. I guess from another angle, I wouldn't imagine you're in the habit of acquiring companies and then just letting a lot of that revenue just fall off the table. That's not in this case. It's a considerable percentage of the customer base. So
absolutely,
yeah.
No, we wouldn't have acquired the company if we weren't excited about all of it. So
yeah. So
even if I may add, like Bullhorn competitors, right? Because we do also have a lot of those customers that use our technology. We still want to be a supplier to them. So also there, I mean, we're just continuing to do that, and it's up to them in the end whether they want to or not to continue to do that. But it is definitely our goal for now.
Yeah. And that you know, over the last decade, that sort of, this is really a big ecosystem play, if you will, given Textkernel's position in the market. And sure, some may feel threatened, but for the most part, folks are used to, we used to call it co-opetition. They're used, you know, and I think, you know, I'm sure it's too early to look at what the shape of Bullhorn and Textkernel will be 3 years from now from a corporate structure perspective, but it sounds like you're clear on the product living on and supporting its customer base and on both sides, and that's what's ultimately most important.
And advancing, right?
Right.
Sure. Like, there's going to be huge investments to advance. This is definitely a growth engine for us, so we're really excited about it.
Okay. All right. Cool. So I think we've covered a lot of the questions about how the deal came together and why it makes sense, and we've covered some of the buzz in the market. I know we're just about at time. Well, I want to thank you, Gerard and Art, for being here. Congratulations on the deal, and we'll put a link to Art's blog post that talks about the deal. That's at bullhorn.com if anybody's looking to learn more about the deal or keep an eye on the evolution here post-acquisition. Well, thank you both so much.
Thank you, George.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care.